Long ago, in the ancient city of Daura, the people lived with an unspoken fear. Their wells, lifeline of the city, were guarded by a monstrous serpent named Saki. Once a week, only Fridays, the serpent allowed water to be drawn. One person, chosen carefully, would fetch enough to keep the town alive, but beyond that, thirst and scarcity ruled Daura. The people lived under the shadow, resigned to their fate, but the queen of Daura, beautiful and strong, ruled with grace. She was not known not just for her crown, but her sharp mind and the sorrows in her eyes whenever she watched her people bow to the beast instead of walking free. One evening, a weary traveler entered the gate. His name was Bayajidda. He came from the far lands of Baghdad. They say a prince cast out, a warrior in search of destiny. His stride was heavy from exile, but his gaze carried the sharpness of a lion. When Bayajidda reached the heart of Daura, he saw the people lined up at the well, waiting for their chance. Bound by fear, he asked the child, "Why do you wait like prisoners for your water?" The child whispers, "Because Saki, the serpent, ruled this well. No one can fight it, no one can survive it." Bayajidda heart burned. A city bound by thirst, a queen bound by sorrow, and a people bound by fear. That night, when others slept, he walked alone to the well. The moon lit the stones, silver against the black waters. And when the east came, the serpent rose, massive, coiling, eyes glowing like fire in the dark. The people of Daura had never dared to strike, but Bayajidda was not of Daura. He drew his sword. Scale met steel, steel met scale. The head shook as the serpent struck, its fang sinking into stone. Bayajidda fought with every breath, every scar of exile burning like a fire in his vein, and at last, with a final cry, his blade cut through. The serpent fell. Silence swallowed the night, and the well was free. When dawn came, the people gathered and saw the serpent body laying still. The impossible had been done. Water flowed freely for the first time in generations. Word raced to the palace. The queen of Daura came, her veil lifted in awe. She looked at Bayajidda, stranger, warrior, liberator. Her voice trembled as she said, "What name do we call the man who has broken the chain of our test?" Bayajidda bowed, his eyes steady. "I am but a wanderer, but if Daura would have me, I would be more." In that moment, something passed between them. Not just gratitude, not just duty, but the first spark of love. The people of Daura could hardly believe it. The serpent that had enslaved them for generations, they'd slain. For the first time, water flowed freely, and the city sang with joy. Yet, beneath the celebration, whispers rose. Who is this stranger? A prince, a warrior, a god in human form? The queen of Daura summoned Bayajidda to her palace. Her halls were adorned with ivories and woven cloth. The scent of incense lingered in the air. She sat upon her throne, regal and radiant, her crown of gold shimmering in the torchlight. But her gaze was softer, not that of a ruler addressing a subject, but of a woman seeing a man who had changed the world. Bayajidda entered, bowing low, yet when he lifted his eyes, there was no fear in them, only calm strength. "Tell me," the queen said, her voice steady, "why did you risk your life for the people, not your own?" Bayajidda paused and replied, "Because no one should live in chains, not a city, not a queen, not a heart." The word lingered between them, every with more than a meaning. The queen who had ruled alone, who bore the weight of her people's suffering, felt something stir within her, something she had long buried beneath duty. Days turned into weeks. Bayajidda remained in Daura, no longer just a stranger, but a protector, an honored guest. The people praised him, but it was in those quiet moments with the queen that his destiny deepened. They would walk together through the gardens, the sound of water flowing at last. She would ask him of distant land, of Bayagad and beyond. He would listen as she spoke of Daura's history, of her dream for her people. The griot said their bond was like water to a dry head, slow at first, then unstoppable. The queen had seen many men bow before her crown, but Bayajidda bowed only to her spirit, and Bayajidda, who had wandered homeless, found her not just a throne, but a home. One night, beneath the stars of the Hausa sky, Bayajidda spoke, "I came here with nothing but my sword, yet I found more than I sought, a people worth fighting for, and a woman whose heart is stronger than any empire." The queen's voice trembled, and she answered, "I, who have ruled only with duty, have found love in a man who asks nothing but gives everything." Their hands met, and the line between the queen and the stranger dissolved. Love became bond that no serpent could sever. When dawn broke, the drums of Daura thundered. The queen of Daura and Bayajidda were joined, their union sealing more than affection. It sealed the birth of a legacy. For from their love, a dynasty would rise, one that would shape the future of the Hausa state. But destiny is never finished with love. Their union will bring not just joy, but weaving a greater story. The story of sons, kingdom, and spreading the lineage that would endure for centuries. From the night Bayajidda and the Queen of Daura bounded their hearts, the city entered a new dawn. Love had softened duty, and the duty strengthened love. No longer was Daura a land of fear and scarcity. The well flowed freely, and with it the laughter of children, the arms of traders, and the song of griot praising the new era. Bayajidda and the Queen ruled side by side, she the guardian of tradition, he the bearer of change, and together the wove of vision greater than either could hold in alone. In time, their love bore fruit. A son was born, and the griot sang his name across the land. He was not only the heir to Daura, but the seed of something larger. For from him and from Bayajidda's other unions, the great Hausa states would one day rise. Kano, Katsina, Zazu, Gobril, Rano, and beyond. The webs of kingdom, bound not by conquest, but by bloodline, by story, by the memories of love. Yet beyond the politics and legacy, there was still the tenderness of two souls who had found each other. The queen, once lonely upon her throne, now laughed freely in her courtyard, her hands in Bayajidda's, and Bayajidda, once a wanderer without a place to rest, now found his home, not only in a stone wall or royal hall, but in the warmth of her presence. Do you ever miss your homeland? She once asked him, her voice soft as they watched their son sleep. Bayajidda smiled, though his eyes carried the weight of faraway memories. Home is not where you were born. Home is where you are loved. And here in Daura, I have found my home. Their love was more than personal. It was a foundation. The people of Daura did not just see a queen and a husband. They saw the unity of two worlds, the merging of destiny with desire. And in that merging, the Hausa story was born. And as years turned, the griots carried their tale across the deserts and savannas, across generations. Some called it as a myth, others as history, but all agreed the union of Bayajidda and the Queen of Daura was not merely a marriage, it was a covenant of love and duty between strangers and kin, between past and future. Even now, when the Hausa people speak of their origin, it is with the echo of that love, a love that did not simply bloom and faded, but planted roots that grew into kingdoms, a love that proved that even in the hardest deserts, even under the weight of duty, the human heart could carve legacies as enduring as empires. And so, Bayajidda and the Queen of Daura lived on, not just as ruler of a city long past, but as the eternal heartbeat of people, whispering in the griot song, carried in the blood of generation, and remembered as the love that gave birth to a civilization. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to African Griot for more inspiring African stories that has been buried deep in history.